Hi viewers, thank you so much for joining me again. My friend the Holy Spirit, this is Gift Zawadi Love. So today we look at prayer as an intercession. How do you intercede for someone if you don't have a relationship with God? First of all, it's not going to work. If you're going to plead for somebody to me, then you might as well have a good relationship with me so that I can pardon that other person. So for you to be a great intercessor, for you to have the power of interceding for somebody else, you need to have a relationship with God yourself so that you can be able to stand in the gap on behalf of somebody else. I'm going to show you a few people who stood in the gap because of their friendship with God. One of them was called a friend of God. Actually, both of them are friends of God. One of them is Abraham, who was called the friend of God, and Moses, who God called him his friend, actually spoke to him face to face. Listen to this. This is in Genesis chapter 18, verses 16. Then the men got up from their meal and looked out towards Sodom. These were angels that had come to visit Abraham. And as they left, Abraham went with them to send them on their way. Should I hide my plan from Abraham? The Lord asked. For Abraham will certainly become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed through him. I have singled him out so that he will direct his sons and their families to keep the way of the Lord. See, Abraham was singled out. He was told, leave your family, leave this idol worship place, go. Why? Sometimes God will uproot you from a place where you are so used to being, where there is so many traditions, where there's just, a lot of things that go on, that he may plant you into something else. See, he said this clearly. He said that I have singled him out so that he will direct his sons and their families to keep the ways of the Lord by doing what is right and just. Then I will do for Abraham all that I have promised. So the Lord told Abraham, see, God is talking to him and saying, I can't hide my friend. So the Lord told Abraham, I have had a great outcry from Sodom and Gomorrah because their sin is so flagrant. I am going down to see if their actions are as wicked as I have heard. If not, I want to know. The other men turned and headed towards Sodom, but the Lord remained with Abraham. Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away both the righteous and the wicked? Suppose you find 50 righteous people living there in the city. Will you sweep it away and not spare it for their sakes? Surely you wouldn't do such a thing, destroying the righteous along with the wicked. Why would you be treating the righteous and the wicked exactly the same? Surely you wouldn't do that. Should not the judge of all the earth do what is right? This is Abraham talking to God. And the Lord replied, see, prayer is this conversation. There is no way you can have a relationship with God or talk to God and wait for him to respond and he doesn't respond. Listen to this. And the Lord replied, if I find 50 righteous people in Sodom, I will spare the entire city for their sake. Then Abraham spoke again. Since I have begun, let me speak further to my Lord. Even though I am but just dust and ashes. Suppose there are only 45 righteous people rather than 50. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And the Lord said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 righteous people there. And then Abraham pressed his request further. This is a relationship. Amazing. This is what my younger son does. He pushes and he will just keep doing until he finds his way. And sometimes we have to just be that children to God. Just keep asking. There's no sin in asking. There's no punishment in asking. Listen to this. So the Lord said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 righteous people there. Then Abraham pressed his request further. Suppose there are only 40? And the Lord replied, I will not destroy it for the sake of 40. And then he says, please don't be angry with me, Lord. Abraham pleaded, let me speak. Suppose only 30 righteous people are found? And the Lord replied, I'll not destroy it if I find 30. See, God, it doesn't mind you talking. He's not angry, right? And then Abraham said, since I have dared to speak to the Lord, let me continue. Let me continue. Suppose there are only 20? And the Lord replied, then I will not destroy it for the sake of the 20. Finally, Abraham said, Lord, please don't be angry with me if I speak one more time. Suppose only 10 are found there? And the Lord replied, then I will not destroy it for the sake of the 10. When the Lord had finished his conversation with Abraham, prayer is conversation. Conversation, remember? When the Lord had finished his conversation with Abraham, he went on his way, and Abraham returned to his tent. Abraham interceded for Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot and his family lived there. Because of this intercession, because of asking God, and God is not, he's not offended. In fact, Abraham is the one who was thinking, oh, you're going to get angry with me, or maybe I'm bothering you, or that is the attitude sometimes we come with God. God is not bothered. He is ready to answer, and every single time he answered. He answered very well. He didn't answer like he was tired and told him, no, this is the last time, don't talk to me again. No. He answered and he said, no, I hear your intercession. I'm not going to destroy them. I hear your intercession. I'm not going to destroy them. And at the end of this story, Lot and his family, they were saved. The only person who disobeyed God was Lot's wife, because when she was delivered and they were told not to look back, she looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt. As much as we intercede for you, what does that say? As much as Abraham interceded for Lot and his family and his wife, Abraham did not have the capacity to make them do the right thing. As much as we intercede for you, as much as your pastor intercedes for you, as much as I intercede for you, you will destroy yourself for lack of obedience to God. Just because you have somebody praying for you doesn't mean you continue sinning. You need to turn away and around from every form of ungodliness that you may be saved. May God bless you. And join me again as we look at Moses interceding for the Israelites. Thank you.